Something big is quietly building behind the scenes, and if you're a Zelda fan, this might be the moment everything changes. New interviews, new details, and growing hints are all pointing towards something much larger than just another game. This isn't just about hype anymore, it's about a major shift in how Zelda is being developed, leading into the 40th anniversary. Recently, a new interview series from Monolith Soft has started revealing deeper insights into their role in Zelda's development, especially with Tears of the Kingdom. And what's becoming very clear is that their involvement is no longer small or supportive, it's massive. They're not just helping anymore, they're shaping how the game actually plays. One of the most important details from these interviews is how Monolith Soft's programmers were responsible for implementing gameplay mechanics. That means they weren't just building environments or assisting with visuals, they were directly working on how the game feels in your hands. Movement systems, interactions, behaviors, this is core game design. And that changes everything. For example, when designing companion characters like Tulin, the team had to balance realism with gameplay. If the character behaved too freely, it would feel natural but become frustrating for the player. If it stayed too close, it would feel robotic, so they had to carefully fine-tune that balance. This shows the level of detail and decision-making they're responsible for. And this wasn't limited to just one feature. The interviews explain that every gameplay element required constant communication between teams. Programmers worked closely with designers, artists, and planners to make sure everything worked smoothly in every situation, whether you're exploring caves, fighting bosses, or interacting with other characters. This kind of collaboration shows how deeply integrated Monolith Soft has become. What's even more interesting is how their role has evolved over time. They first started assisting during the Breath of the Wild DLC, but with Tears of the Kingdom, their involvement expanded significantly. More developers, more responsibility, and more influence. And based on this pattern, it's very likely their role will grow even further in the next Zelda project. Now here's where things get really exciting. There are strong hints that Monolith Soft could take on an even bigger role in future Zelda titles, possibly even leading the development of certain games. Not replacing the main Zelda team, but working alongside them in a much more equal partnership. And that opens the door to something fans have wanted for years, more frequent Zelda releases. Right now, waiting 6 to 8 years for a new Zelda game is normal. But with multiple teams working together, that gap could shrink. Just like other major franchises release both new titles and remakes, Zelda could follow a similar path. And speaking of remakes, there's growing speculation about an Ocarina of Time remake being revealed during the 40th anniversary. While nothing is confirmed yet, the timing and clues are starting to line up. Historically, major Zelda announcements tend to happen around June during anniversary years, and with everything building up right now, that pattern could repeat, while upgrading it with modern technology and design improvements. Either way, one thing is clear, Nintendo is building something bigger. Not just a single release, but a long-term strategy. With multiple teams, multiple projects, and a stronger development pipeline, the future of Zelda could look very different from the past. And this is exactly why the 40th anniversary feels so important. It's not just a celebration, it's a turning point. We could see a major remake, possibly new announcements, maybe even the first look at upcoming projects. And with a live-action Zelda movie also on the horizon, the franchise is expanding beyond just games. Everything is lining up for a huge moment. Right now, we're in that quiet phase before the storm. Small details, subtle hints, and early reveals, but as we get closer to June, things could start moving fast. So the real question is, are we about to enter a new era of Zelda? Because if Monolith Soft continues growing in this role, and if Nintendo truly expands its development approach, we might not just get better Zelda games, we might get more of them. And if you're excited to see what happens next, make sure you're paying attention, because when the announcements start, you won't want to miss it. Subscribe now and stay ready for what could be the biggest Zelda moment in years.